Welcome back. Visual artist Blessing Ngobeni curated a group exhibition Unseen for the 2023 finalists of the Blessing Ngobeni Art Prize. The artworks in this exhibition explore the divisions between what we see and what we don't see, what we know and what we don't know, what's revealed and what is concealed. Well, it's set to open today at the Melrose Exhibition. Joining us in studio this morning is Blessing Ngobeni and Danna Margo Hall to talk more about the exhibition. A very good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Hi.
Thank you, Simpiwe. How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Good.
Good to have you in the show
Yes,
this
thank
morning.
you for having us.
Great stuff. Danna, I'm going to start with you. So what makes the finalists, stand out in the current, art landscape?
Do you know, I think it's just pushing your materials and your boundaries. It's really, at the end of the day, is just fully encompassing everything that you want to be as an artist.
Yes.
And I think that Blessing and his team really recognize that. And they've put together a really, really great show, and the artists and being able to meet them, it's been, a wonderful experience.
Right. Now, Blessing, just give us more insight into your curatorial process for this exhibition.
Blessing Ngobeni Art Prize was launched, I think, 6 years ago. So this is our 7th year, actually, not 6 years, 7th year.
Okay.
So basically, what Blessing Ngobeni Art Prize does is to identify a new talent that can at least take over from us, as we are the leaders of the art landscape, in South Africa and in the continent, So what it does basically is that identifying this talent, and then we bring the talent together, and then we search a person who is the best in the, who can win the award, because this is a group show which is gonna lead us to identify the best player or the best newcomer who's gonna take over and become a professional artist in his practice. Okay. So this exhibition is like where we're gonna have judges, we're gonna interview the participants individually, and then the participants must stand out, must tell us why she or he thinks that he can win this award. And through that, it's a process of identifying another player who can come on the art landscape and contribute towards bringing what we think is change.
So what exactly is it that you are looking for from these finalists? Is it the art of expression or the actual artworks themselves?
No. The artwork can be there, but if the person that create art is not there, then you are not qualified. You are disqualified, should I say.
Really?
Yeah, because the artwork must be there, but you as a person must tell us why this artwork should stand out and become part and parcel of the art landscape. What do you contribute? What's your contribution? Because we need change, as through the African landscape, leadership is lacking. So we're trying to identify who can be the next leader, who can lead this art landscape.
Right.
Yeah.
Danna, what makes you think art in the contemporary world should evolve or can evolve?
It's a multifaceted question, but I think it's one of the most important tools that we as South Africans have to not only do, what Blessing does is he goes to young artists and, developing parts of South Africa and gives them the choice and the power to potentially go into a creative endeavor and get themselves out of a potentially, terrible situation. Like Blessing himself, like you went through so much, and art gave him the power to have a voice and comment on the South African context and specifically what's happening in the social-political context. So I think it's incredibly important to have that nurturing and attention to that development so that artists can be that kind of, contrast between the political voice and us as artists be the voice of the people and the voice of the culture. So, that's why.
And I mean, you made a very valid point there, and it leads to my next question. How then do we ensure that all artists speak, in one voice in terms of expressing whatever is happening around them, in terms of political, in terms of economical, in terms of social, and not just confine their artworks to only artistry?
That's also, when you look at it, you kind of have to, I think, as artists, because Blessing talks a lot about unity, right?
Yes.
And overcoming that polarization in our country. Because even though we are the Rainbow Nation and we're incredibly diverse, we've got to kind of put away our differences and overcome things and join together and create an artistic voice. I think that's really one of the main things that artists try and do and can do to further our country.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Blessing, what kind of message is conveyed through this exhibition? I mean, what is that story that's being told?
I think she mentioned something about unity, something about working together, something about, remember that the system, the colonial crew, when they walked into our land, they planted a seed that we can't unplant it out from ourselves, but us, we have to practice it and start looking at it and do away with it, you know. It created a hate amongst ourselves, and that hate, it makes us to not able to achieve, you know. For instance, I'm like very happy and I'm looking forward about the digital free trade that's going to happen, you know, in Africa, where imagine as an artist, you showcase your stuff, you know, here, you can go to any other country and showcase without being given, you know, statements that in Europe, in America, they just walk the way they want.
Are we ready, though? Are artists ready for the digital free trade?
As artists, we've been doing that. I would give you an example with an artist can create a passport without being, you know, like your passport is your work. So they would identify you working free because they see what you do. So those are the things that we, as young thinkers, we are looking at to see some change that can be enforced, you know, because remember that we are mentally enslaved, you know, where we are unable to talk to your neighbor and say, neighbor, hey, we can move together, you know, but your neighbor looks to you and say, hey, this guy is going up, let me suppress him. Why is it like that, you know? So we are taught, you know, this education that is not African, whereas African knowledge was dismantled, was taken away, you know, from us. So we need to reclaim that and reclaim the dignity of humans, you know.
Indeed, indeed. And then make art, you know, to unshackle those shackles, those mental shackles that have been enslaving us for years. Now, Danna, how has your artistic practice, you know, influenced your approach to curating this particular exhibition?
You know, I primarily work with adhesives, with wood glue, and for this exhibition, it's really just pushed me to kind of reevaluate how I talk about my work and how I present my work, because it's such a fine and nuanced line, you know, because you're communicating to people who don't usually, you know, lay wood glue all day. So it's incredibly complex, and it really does push you outside of your own limitations, especially for BNAP. It's been a great opportunity just to really reevaluate how you work and push yourself beyond your limitations. So, yeah.
All right. Lovely chatting to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Great stuff. Well, South African visual artist Blessing Ngobeni and Danna Margo talking more about the exhibition opening today.